Okay. Alright. Okay. Alright. Hi, everyone. How are you doing today? How are you doing on this fantastic day? I'm actually doing really well. I actually don't really know where to start here. But, so, I guess Christmas happened, which was super fun. Merry Christmas. I hope you guys all had a happy Merry Christmas. But on the 24th, you know, I found something on the internet, and it said KFConsole. And I'm like, what is this talking about? I went a little digging. I dove face first, because apparently I was off the internet all day, and no one was telling me about this beautiful step into gaming that KFC has dove in head first. They made one game, and then they're like, all right, it's console time? And this is the funniest thing I have ever seen. So I let Christmas pass. I'm like, all right, whatever, Christmas, we'll let Christmas pass, we'll do all that, and then we'll just go ahead and read everything I can possibly about the KFC console. And this thing is just insane. Absolutely insane. I don't know. You ask anyone. You ask any human, and they probably did. They probably even asked. They're like, yo, KFC console. Ha 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 ha. And everyone's like, that's really funny. Good joke. Good joke, KFC. And then curveball, they're like, no, we weren't kidding. The KFC console is real, and it's coming out. So KFC, the Kentucky Fried Chicken, you know, the guy with Colonel Sanders, guy with a big white beard, his company, who mostly functions, what their main drive and purpose is to make fast food, right? Chicken mostly. That's what it's mostly famous for. But they have decided to take a step outside of their comfort zone, and they have decided to make a console and compete inside the console wars, right? And that's just that's insane. Like, out of all people, like Google Stadia, right? So Google, this gigantic company, and they already, like, you can see them kind of dipping their toes into consoles. So yeah, they made Stadia. And, you know, we laugh and prod because they're trying to compete with, you know, the big boys that have always been out, like Xbox. And I'm sure Stadia has its fans. I haven't tried it yet, mostly because I'm a video game collector, and why would I purchase something where I can't do the physical media, you know? But that's fine, you know. And then we found out as a human species, that someone at KFC was like, all right, we are making a video game console in the shape of a Kentucky Fried Chicken bowl, a bucket, in the shape of a Kentucky Fried Chicken bucket. And it's not even called the KFC console, it's called the KFConsole. And it's very hard for me to just not add that C. And I think that it might be a little more challenging for a lot of other people here. And this thing, it just looks insane. And its gimmick. So the gimmick, you know, the Wii, it had motion controls. That was fun. That was fine. The Wii U, it had the gamepad. The Switch, you know, you can take it on the go. The KFC's gimmick is that it can warm up your chicken as you are playing video games. Or not warm up. Just keep it warm, I guess. And this is just the most bizarre thing. I am reading this currently. I'm going online. I am currently reading article after article of this thing, and my eyes still are like, absolutely, is this not a real thing? The giant vents on the top, trying to keep it cool, but also trying to keep it warm at the same time. The idea of trying to mix food and gaming together is definitely a weird one. So I remember when the NES came out, and a lot of parents were receiving complaints, or Nintendo receiving these the NESs like coming back into storage, and that was because they had this flat surface, and people would put their drinks or they would put their food on them, and they would spill onto the console, and it would just ruin the console. And here they're like deliberately like, yes, this is for food. You put food in this, and it keeps it warm. And that's just like, it's such an, especially with something as greasy as KFC, to just invite that onto the console itself. It is bizarre. It is utterly, stupidly bizarre. And it's just like, I wash my hands aggressively after eating KFC just because it's the greasiest thing. You don't want to get that on your controller. And like, I don't know, to put your chicken deliberately into your console to keep it warm I rather just have it on a plate, in all honesty. So this just like, it's this very reason why you look at this and you're like, no way does this exist. And they are assuring us that this exists. And maybe like after that you think, all right, well maybe it's like an NES like clone, you know, the NES clone or the SNES clone. This thing is promising, like going through reading what it's promising. I'm not huge on computers, so I'm not entirely 100% all knowing of this, but 4K, 240 frames per second, ray tracking, a VR support? Like, what is this? This is not a SNES clone or NES clone. This is something completely 100% different. I can't stress how bizarre this is. And like, I'm trying to read some of these photos. Some of it's like in, I don't know, in different languages, and it's like, okay, whatever. We'll look at it later. But the mere idea of like heating up your system or keeping stuff warm and also trying to keep stuff cool at the same time. Consoles need venting. They need to be cool. You look at the Xbox, if it overheats, it just dies. You look at, you know, even the Switch, it's a cartridge-based system. It has a vent in it too. So it's just absolutely insane. And I can't stress that enough. Even when reading this, it's insane. And then you have to watch, please, for the love of God, watch the reveal trailer, because it is just incredible. So the reveal trailer just kind of goes, we were told that we can't do anything. We can't do everything. There is things that are impossible out in the universe, and they're like, but we did the impossible. And then they reveal the KFC console, and they're like, this is the next step in gaming. And it's like, oh, of course, yeah. I mean, you know, portable gaming, nah, screw that. Our gaming can have food stored inside it and keep it warm. And this is obviously the next step. And it's amazing. Utterly bizarre. Out of all the things to come out in 2020, this is definitely the most strangest. And why I think they can do this, and I think why they are doing this, is because of the Japanese market. So if you don't know, KFC is incredibly popular in Japan. So I guess a few marketing teams were like, hey, so in America, it is customary to eat chicken on Christmas morning, Christmas Day, Christmas lunch. So like they advertise KFC as a go-getter food to eat on Christmas. And Japan ate that up. They're like, absolutely, yes, 100%. There is a KFC on every block in Japan, and they have to order it ahead of time in order to get their KFC. And they just, it's just crazy. I really think that this was made for that market in mind. For next year's holiday item, hot item for the holidays of 2021, Christmas item. This is still a Christmas episode. They are gonna sell these, or even 2022, who knows? But this is, I believe, if I were to make any guess, that is their goal. To sneak their way into these, you know, bedrooms and have this also be a part of Christmas tradition in Japan. I guess wild speculation, but still just like utterly amazing. Eat your KFC and play your games on Christmas morning. Now, if I were to pick the KFC console over the Switch, obviously I'm gonna go for the Switch every time, but I am 100% picking this thing up because it is so crazy. It is utterly crazy. Oh my god, I've been just looking at this, reading this, everyone's like, no way, fake news. Not fake news, crazy, weird. And you gotta think, so they also, KFC have already made a game on Steam. It is the KFC Dating Simulator. Haven't played it myself, but you're basically dating the Colonel Sanders, I guess? And everyone, when that came out, it's like, that's wild. That's utterly wild. It looks like KFC, their marketing team, or one guy in the marketing team's like, video games are gonna be the future for KFC. So they made the dating simulator. They're like, all right, our next step is console. Huge step, giant step. And it's just like, it's someone there. I love them. I love them so much because they're taking these weird, weird steps. If if Burger King wants to get out of the slumps, make the Burger King console. McDonald's, I know you got a lot of money. Sure. Like everyone, I want everyone to jump into the console wars and have the console crash of 2021, and then we had to slowly work our way back up. But the marketing team is just some guy out there was like, this is gonna be what we're working up to. I'm just incredibly excited and flabbergasted of this new console, the new competitor in the game wars. To quote them, move over Xbox, move over PlayStation, the console wars are over. KFConsole has won, and I haven't bought an Xbox, the new Xbox, the new PlayStation, but I will definitely buy the KFConsole just because it's insane. So I think maybe this thing will probably function. I'm not seeing any DVD input here anywhere, unless you take out the little little tube there and put your DVDs down there, which just seems crazy risky. So what I'm thinking, it's gonna function a lot like Stadia. It's gonna be like a gaming platform, streaming gaming like Netflix or whatever, which is fine. I'm still gonna play it, and even if it's just like games that have already come out, I'm so incredibly curious. My curiosity has been piqued, and I'm gonna play it. Anyways, please, for the love of God, let me know what you think of this. I want to hear opinions. I want to hear everyone talking about this. I want you to tell me if you think this thing is gonna work, if it's gonna fail. I honestly don't know, but this thing just utterly looks insane. Let me know in the comments. I'll see you guys probably next year. Goodbye.